Good evening, guys. We're back down the Avon, as you can see behind me. It's Saturday the 25th of August today. Now, if you watch my channel, you know I don't fish at the weekend very much because I've got such easy access living right close to the river. I tend to stay away on the weekends because of what's happening at the moment, to be honest, because there's canoes and boats, and I say it's 20 past 6. Hopefully it will stop soon, but they'll be going up and down, up and down. I mean, it's the stretch behind me, as you can probably see from the froth there. We're not far from the weir, and to put you in the picture, if you saw the last video, there'll be a link to it at the end, the one where I talked about the sewage leak. This is the peg that I moved into right at the top of the stretch in the dark, and I had 3 nice chub out from those trees there. As you can see, they're big overhanging willows, and that's where those 3 chub from. You probably noticed if you saw the video, I had them all on the same rod, the left hand rod, which is sort of in that gap there. So what I've decided to do, I was really umming and ahhing. I thought, shall I go into the peg I've been fishing? Shall I go to the peg further down where we started the last session, where I lost that tench, unfortunately? And what I decided to do was come to this peg. It's right at the top here. As I say, we're as close as this club stretch goes to the weir. The lock is literally just round this corner here. For a few reasons. The main reason being, I fished here in the week. Now, I've been out a couple of times since I last saw you. I came out Tuesday and I came out yesterday. Tuesday, I came down here in this very peg with literally a stick float and rod, obviously, pint of maggots and a landing net, and that was it. And I bought the camera as well. And I fished and I trotted through only for an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half, just as it started to get dark. And I had stacks and stacks of fish. They're all like this big. Well, as you can see here, I did catch plenty of fish, perch, little chub, roach, dace, loads and loads. Literally, I was getting a bite of chuck. I did lose something bigger. It felt like a perch the way it was fighting. I had it on for a few seconds and then unfortunately dropped off. But I couldn't get past the small fish, to be honest. I did think perhaps we might pick up some of these chub that live under here, and I was feeding maggots, but just getting smashed up by little fish. It's only 3 or 4 foot deep here, and I tried fishing deep, tried fishing shallow. I was dragging the maggot along the bottom, fishing a foot deep. I mean, nothing seemed to put the little fish off. But what I'm getting to is that, as I say, I came down here with a stick float, and a couple of times when I was bringing a fish in, you know, this big, a bleak or something, big old perch followed it in, and we're after it. And I really would like to catch a nice perch. So that was really my thinking. I thought I'd come down a little bit earlier, and I can fish. There's a big sort of slack area on the inside here. You can see the main flow is on the other side under the trees, really. So what I thought is the perch are probably hanging about in this slack here. So I'd come down with the barbel gear and we'd do some chub and barbel fishing as it starts to get dark. But I've also got a new toy to play with, which I'll just get out, and that's the other reason I thought I'd come after some of these perch. Well, the sun's just come out while I was getting this out of the bag. Now what I've done is I've dug out my light ledger rods, which I tend to use more in the winter and when I'm perhaps up on the Stour or small river fishing. And I've bought myself a Centrepin. Now, I know lots of people fish the pin and it's quite a fashionable thing to do. I have never fished with a Centrepin before, ever. I'm a bit old to be learning new tricks, but I thought, why not? I've been thinking about getting one for a while. People have been encouraging me. Mark Edwin recommended this one as a decent budget Centrepin, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now, fortunately here, I don't have to fish too far out because obviously one of the things about Centrepin is casting it. So you're going to see me do my first cast with a Centrepin, so get ready for a laugh. I mean, I've literally touched this twice before now, once to get it out of the box and once to put the line on it. I haven't put too much line on, again at Mark's recommendation, because I'm probably going to get loads of birds' nests and overruns and stuff. And I've watched a few YouTube videos about it, but I'm literally going to sort of do the 2-finger, I think they call it a Nottingham cast, the 2-finger cast, and just sort of swing it out as far as I can. I think I'm going to get on the maggot feeder, see if we can get some bites. I've got £6 line on here. I'm going to use £5 hook links. I shall also put out one of the other rods as well, just a bit further downstream, but I'm not going to put too much bait in or anything for now, because as I say, boat's going up and down, it's 4 foot deep. Boat goes past, my bait's going to be, you know, 50 metres downstream, so there's not a lot of point at the moment. So I'm going to set this up, or finish setting it up, and then we'll have a bit of a laugh. So guys, also I just mentioned I came out yesterday. I didn't actually come out yesterday, it was Thursday. I came down because it had rained a lot, and I knew I couldn't get out yesterday on babysitting duty yesterday. I came down and set up, fished for about 45 minutes, and to be honest, the place was like a morgue, absolutely like a morgue. You've seen in the videos, there's fish splash here, there's topping, all sorts, especially at dusk. This was dusk, it was like a morgue. I was hardly getting a touch. So literally I stuck it out for about 45 minutes, and I just thought, I'm wasting my time here, absolutely wasting my time. I know this place well enough to know that if there's no activity and you're not getting bites, especially when you put coal and maggots on, it's an absolute waste of time. My thinking is that the rain we had has really knocked the water temperature on the head. This is the week when it turned really cold. We had cold rain, it was a cold night, and I think it hasn't done the fishing any good at all, certainly not here. I don't know, perhaps it was something to do with the sewage as well, maybe, I don't know, maybe the marina bit, which had a lot of sewage leaked into it. That doesn't really get flushed through. Obviously when it was leaking in down here, it's just all getting washed away. Up there, it doesn't, there's no through flow at all, so maybe a lot of rain that we had pushed that sewage back into the river, I'm not sure, but the fish weren't having it, and to be honest with you, I wasn't going to waste my time, so I went home after about 45 minutes, which again is the lovely advantage I've got of living on the banks of this this fantastic river. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, do some fishing. Okay, that was my first cast. I think we'll try that again. It's not bad, that'll do. Oh guys, my first fish on the pin. And not surprising, as we're in the Avon, it's a chub. Fantastic. Casting, not finding it too difficult, to be honest. I can get 2/3 of the way across. Plenty of fingers fulls of line, but my first ever fish on the pin. Fab. Brilliant. As another landmark in my fishing career. Fantastic. Let's get him back. Brilliant. This is great fun. Blimey, nearly had the rod off the rest, so look at it. Little dace. It's covered in scars and has had a very lucky escape by the looks of it. Crazy stuff. Blimey, it's a bit better. I must remember to hold on to the reel when I strike. Ah, target species. Oh, nice one too. I think I'm just about to pick him out of the water. Ah. Oh, huh. A bit too much confidence, dropped off. But it was a nice fish. I suppose, I don't know if you saw it, I mean, total guesstimate, but maybe 3/4 of a pound, something like that. Brilliant, that's great. But I must remember to hold the Centrepin. Well, that was a shame, but I think you probably saw it on the footage. Hope so, anyway. But, that's great. I'm surprised. The sun came out, but it's gone in a little bit now. But, I thought it was perhaps a bit too bright for the perch yet, but fantastic. Well, if we're catching fish like this, it's going to be good casting practice, that's for sure. Have a nice dace. Fab. Well, we've got something nice. The stripey, not as big as the last one. Well guys, no monster. Not near as big as the one that came off, but to start. Sun's come out again, as you can see, but there's shadow on the water here, so they obviously don't mind it at all. And that was a big perch. So guys, just gone 8 o'clock. As you can see, I've moved. I was thinking of sticking out where I was up there. Put worm on, had a few knocks, but nothing really materialised. So I thought I'd go back to the swim where I lost that tench. So I had to walk down here, and two anglers have appeared on the other bank opposite that. One of them thrashing the water to pieces with a lure rod. So I was going to walk much further down to where I fished in the winter. However, there's a big party going on down there, because on the other side there's a campsite, and in the summer, obviously lots of caravans. They're having a party. I could smell the barbecue from here. And I was thinking, this doesn't usually happen. What's going on? And then I sort of thought, the light bulb came on. It's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? Completely forgot. To be honest, if I'd have remembered, I wouldn't have come. Thought, no, I need some peace and quiet. So I've settled pretty much halfway in between. Now this is actually, if you watch last year's videos, this is a swim where I had a barbel about 9.5 pounds, something like that. It was almost a double. But it's that peg. I may well go back up there, but to be honest, I'm getting loads of bangs and rattles here. I've got the barbel rods out now. Not sure we're going to get any barbel with this cold water that's gone in, but I'd be happy to catch some chub. And it looks like they're smashing the rods already. Ooh. I'm not sure what this is, guys. Well, it's a little chub. Well, it's actually not so little. Getting bitten to pieces down here. Unfortunately, the wind's dropped and the flies have appeared. God, it's having a right scoff on my ground bait. There we go. Well, that's a great start. Only been here about 10 minutes. Had this one on a 8mm cheesy garlic halibut pellet. Fantastic. Let's get him back. Big rook. Well guys, it's been a bit of a wait, but we've had another little chub. There he is. Another fantastic conditioned chub. Beautiful. No monster. I think what I'm going to do, after I get this chap back in the water, I think he's moved back to that peg we were perch fishing in. Because, to be honest with you, the otter's working around here. I can hear it. It's splishing and sploshing and splashing. It got into the water across the opposite from me. It's in the bushes first on the other side, and I heard it get in. So I'm going to move back up there. See if we certainly can't have some more chub out from under that tree, and you know, maybe even we could have a barbel with a bit of luck. Wait. Oh, hello. Right. Someone's a bit angry. Oh guys, this fella's a bit angry. Sure it's a chub. Great stuff. Biggest one of the night so far. Fantastic. Well guys, biggest one of the night, but still not very big. A couple of pound probably. Very lively, very welcome all the same. Let's go and try and catch his big brother. Well guys, it's gone 11 now. That's me done for the night. It's been good 45 minutes, getting on for an hour I suppose, since we had that last chub. I've had a few knocks, but to be honest with you, it's been hard going tonight. They haven't really been properly interested. I mean, it's hard to say, well, they're not really interested. You know, we've had that sewage go in the water, it could be something to do with that. There's a full moon, lots of people say that's not good, or very near full anyway. I personally think it's to do with water temperatures. It's still falling. It's not low by any means, it's 17 degrees. Hence all the steam and almost stuff's all damp from the mist and steam effectively coming off the river. I think it's that, and I think it's the fact that it's declining at the moment. You know, the water, as I say, it's about 17 and a half. Today it hasn't got above 14-15 degrees, so you know it's going to be getting colder. I think that's what I would put it down to. I can sit here and make all the excuses in the world, can't I? But at the end of the day, they're not really having it, and that's that. But you know, I've had an enjoyable session. I got to have a go with the pin for the first time, and I did enjoy that. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but was certainly take some getting used to, that's for sure. And we've had a few nice chub, although no big ones. Had a bit of a move about, and actually had a funny occurrence. I think I've mentioned before, I very rarely see anyone fishing down here apart from the odd Eastern European with his lure rod. But this evening I was sort of fishing when I'd moved, and somebody sort of came up behind me with a head torch on, and I thought, this is a bit strange, it's dark, and I thought this is a bit weird, and I was a bit cagey, and a chap sort of on the bank behind me and said, right, and I was like, hello, and he says, Nick. I'm thinking, it sort of goes through your head quickly. I thought, it's a bit strange, it's in a field, it's dark, and someone seems to know me, it's bizarre. And he said, oh, I'll watch your videos. So, oh, right, okay, now I understand, I'm not going to get stabbed. So I had a chat with him, a chap named Sean. I think it's the first time he'd been down here, fished this stretch, and we had a chat in the dark, so it was nice to meet him. So, hello Sean, this is the video that I was doing when I met you, and apologies for being a bit miserable, but I wondered if you were going to stab me in the back or something. But it was very nice to meet you. It just shows what a small world it is, isn't it? Anyway, as I say, it's well gone 11 now. It's probably near past, and I've had enough. They're not playing ball, so it's been an enjoyable session anyway. After things have calmed down, it was all a bit manic earlier with boats and all sorts of stuff, but things calmed down, and we had a few out anyway. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your own angling, tight lines, and I will see you again down here very soon.